Hi, I'm going to quickly demonstrate the UMC worship website where we store guitar chords and piano music and a record of songs that we've played over time. The domain that you go to is worship.umc.org.za, and when you arrive at that page you'll be sent to this login box. I have sent you the credentials for the basic general account for Mhlali Methodist, but you probably want to register yourself as a new user, and when you do that you'll be sent to this slightly bigger page where you need to put in your full name and register as a user. Once you've done that, you'll be logged in, and once logging in, this is what you see. Over here on the left is the search box that you'll be using quite a bit. As you start typing, it'll search and the results will come up on the window. So if we search for all songs with the word grace in them, it'll show songs with grace in the title, but also include songs where the word grace appears in the lyrics itself. Let's go and have a look at that song there, Your Grace Is Enough. The front, there's a whole bunch of panels that you can choose from here. The view song panel shows a preview of the song with the chords, and this song has an MP3 file associated with it so that you can listen to it online. If you want to print out a copy of the chords for use in a service, you want to go to the chords panel, and there you'll get better spaced out and more viewable and in a printable version. If you have permission to edit, which you will do once you've registered as a user, and I'll give each user that registers permission. We just want to make sure that outsiders don't come in and register and try and change what's on the site. If you have permission to edit, you can click on the edit tab, and you can see all of these fields here which can be changed. Most times you won't need to change too much here, but you might want to add an audio link or a link to a video or a sheet music link, which is mostly going to be for some of the old hymns. We want to include sheet music for the various pianists who need it. And what I've done here is put a PDF in a Dropbox folder and then shared a public link to that Dropbox file. So that's the easiest way to share sheet music. The other thing you might want to do from time to time is transpose a song. So you'll see we have up and down there. At the moment the song is in the key of G. If we press up, it'll change everything to G sharp. Up again takes it to A, down, down. As you change up and down, it will save and update that. You can have a look there. If we go up to G sharp, we go in view, you see now it's been changed. Let's leave it in G though. Any other changes that you make, you'll need to click the update song button to write those to the database. The history tab shows you when the song was last played, and you can see that on the 29th of May we played it at the 8:30 service. Potentially there could be a 7 o'clock and a 10 o'clock tab there as well, depending on when the song has been played. And there is a video linked to this song. You saw that in the edit tab, so if you want to go and see the song being played on video, that's there. If I click the sheet music link, because there was a link available, it'll try and download a PDF file, which we're not going to have a look at now, but if you need to see the sheet music and it has been connected, that's what you would do. Right, back to the front page. This recently added box tells you what new songs have been added. In the beginning it's not going to be terribly helpful as we bring stuff across from the other platform, but in time you'll be able to see where new songs have been put on, and so if you're logging in now and then, you'll be able to say, hey, there's a new song, and go and listen to it and have a look at it and start learning it. This is going to be useful as we keep track of the sets that we use week in and week out, and you can see this is an accumulation of the songs that were used over the last 2 weeks, and we can see how many times songs have been played. At the moment it's just this one here, God My Rock, that's been played over the last 2 weeks, but it'll help us to see, especially if you're not leading or in services every week, it'll help us to see that we aren't overplaying or neglecting certain songs. Up at the top here are tabs to allow you to create a new song, to view worship sets, or to look at guitar chords. We're going to have a look at the sets option now, and you can create a new set for any of those 3 services. If we go and look at the 8:30 service, and let's go and view an existing set. This was the 5th of June, and you'll see that that was the order that we chose songs in, and you can add and edit the set, and it automatically generates an email that'll go to the office. So for example, if we were to add a new song and we put a live again in, you'll see that the email will now include that song, and if you change the order and put it up there, it'll go in the same order as it appears on the screen. So this is to encourage worship leaders to come into the system to make sure that you record the set and set out the order, and then as soon as you click send email, then Janet gets a copy of the set for that date and that service, and you'll get a copy as well. Using the email address that you registered with, a copy will arrive in your inbox so you can see that it's been sent. You can also edit this box slightly and say please leave out verse 1 in, and you can leave a specific instruction for Janet, so that'll be included when you send the email. But let's take that song out now because we didn't actually play it on the 5th of June. And by the way, if you add any extra text to this box, any changes you make here, you'll lose that. So if you want to make an additional instruction to Janet, it should be the last thing that you write in there just before you click send, because any changes here will result in this entire email being regenerated. When you are logged in as your own user, obviously your first name will appear there. This is just using the Mhlali Methodist user, so that's why it's come up like that. Alright, let's have a look at the front page again. And so based on what was in that set, that's how these lists are compiled, and over time we'll begin to see what songs we're playing the most. If you look at God My Rock under the history tab, you'll see that it's been played twice. Guitar chords, just for the musicians, this is a place where chords are defined. So if we want to add, let's think of a chord that we don't have. Let's add an F sharp minor, and you can see examples of how the formatting would work. You play just the bottom 5 strings, you leave the top string open. The second and the 6th strings are unfretted, and the other 2 are fretted in number 2. It's a little more complicated with bar chords, so in this case we're going to do an F sharp minor, so it'll be F sharp minor, and we're going to use all 6 strings, so there'll be no X's. I'm not going to mark the fretting of the bars, so it'll be 0, 4, 4, 0, 0, 0, because we're going to specify the bar there. Second string from fret 1 to fret 6. And when we add the chord, you'll see there shows the bar with only those 2 strings fretted there, 4th fret and 4th fret, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can go back to the index and you'll see that the chord appears there, and every time an F sharp minor is defined, appears in a song, this chord diagram will appear there. Last thing to look at is a new song, and I want to demonstrate, let's go back here and open the old site. There's a link there to the old site that you're familiar with, and you know the password for that one too. And let's add a song. Everlasting God. What we can do is convert this format directly into the new format. So if you want to add Everlasting God, we're going to title, I think it's Brenton Brown, do we have? There we have some copyright information. It's in the key of G, and let's copy all of that. I think it's a 4/4. Put in the lyrics. So this is the old open song format with square brackets around the verse numbers, a dot at the beginning of the music line, a space at the beginning of the lyrics line, and we're going to leave audio and video blank and sheet music blank. We're going to click add song, and you'll see that immediately it appears in the recently added column. Let's go and have a look at what we've done. And we have a copy of the chords that have come through fine. One thing to watch out for is where there isn't enough space between the chords, you get this overlapping starting to happen, and you see it especially there. So let's go and edit the song and see if we can improve that a bit. If you put some spaces here between and update, it's still not great on the preview. I'll fix that, but this sheet should be better now. Still not good enough. Let's add some more spaces at the beginning here, I think. There we go. Now they're not running into each other quite as much. That's the one thing to look out for with a new format. Otherwise it looks pretty much the same as before. Other thing is that you can see some of those chords aren't defined. So we could go and click on one of these and it'll put through the chord name, and what is it, A-7 over C is going to be that. Yeah, it looks about right. A-7 over C. Okay, if we go back to the front page now and we look at Everlasting God, you'll see that A-7 over C has now been defined. And we've imported from the old format, so that works quite neatly. So if you're looking for a song that doesn't appear, we can still bring them across, and I'll gradually bring things through. But that should give you a fair idea of how to work on this for now, and we'll have a look at it together sometime.